Justin's all in. Anthony, give us an intro. I don't even deserve the mic after how I did this weekend.
Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell. Make sure you ring the bell so when we drop the episode, you get a notification.
You can fade me if you want and win a lot of money.
You get a notification to the phone. We're going to get right into it. Let's talk about the biggest winners and biggest losers.
Well, I want to go into the biggest losers
of the first round.
St. John's shot 10% from three, shot 26% from the field, I think. The team completely melted on offense. I am mind blown how, like, the idea that they only lost by like 6 points or something like that, that's crazy.
So their best player did not show up.
3 for 17.
3 for 17, was benched in the final 3-4 minutes of the game. Patino took a lot of heat for that. What do you think about that benching?
So the kid was forcing it the whole night, and I think there was a chance for them to tie it. I think 68-66. They had the ball. I think that's what the score was. You know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they come down court, and then he forces up the worst shot I've ever seen. And then they took the ball on transition because of how bad it was. Boom, 4-point game. Boom, 6-point game, and they're back to the square one. I think he ruined their chance to win the game multiple times. But also the refs, they called over 43 fouls, I think.
40-something fouls,
Yeah. So the referees call over 40 fouls in the game. They don't allow the game to be decided by players at all. It's just nonstop foul, foul, foul. I want to see these athletes go up and down.
Yeah, a lot of these games, it seems
now,
like... Now,
granted, Arkansas played great.
Yeah, they played great, and you and I both love this team. We feel that they're big, athletic, and that they can potentially make a run. They got a great coach. We'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, a lot of the games, you know, half the game's been a lot of whistle, like ticky-tack, foul calls, and then other games, I've seen guys get hammered, and they don't call it, especially down the stretch. Very, very interesting. But I think personally, when it comes to that move Patino pulled, at some point, you got to save face for your star player. You got to say, you know what? Tonight's not your night. You're 3 for 17. You're embarrassing yourself out here. You didn't show up in the biggest game of your life.
I talked to Marcus Morris.
Okay.
And Marcus said, no matter how bad of a night, you take him out for a couple minutes and you put him back in.
You put him back in.
He was the Big East Player of the Year, and he got you that far. And in Marcus's idea, and you know, he played at the NBA for double-digit years. So I'm going to go ahead and say I have to side with him over anything I say. You know, for me, I was like, fuck him, he played bad. But Marcus brings up a good point. He got you there. And the way that I look at it is if I get you somewhere, I should have the chance to either win it or lose it. And I think maybe he deserved to be in the last, you know, take him out for 2 minutes, put him back in for the last 3 or 4, and you have to grab him by the face and say, go get it. Like, go get it. And I don't think that happened, and it's unfortunate, but that's okay. I don't think Wisconsin's a big loser. You know, I don't think Iowa State's a big loser. I don't even think the big winners are that big of winners. I think they deserve to be there. Like BYU, we all thought they'd be there. That's the only team that I've really predicted great for this tournament. They're built, they're like 27 years old, and they're married, and their wives are cooking for them when they're not playing, and they got a lot of balance. They're ready for a long tourney. But I'll tell you right now, this tourney is one of the most boring March Madnesses I've ever watched in my life. I'm worried NIL money is destroying the sport, or the NCAA basketball.
Yeah, if it's not destroying the sport, it's destroying March Madness. We have seen the least amount of Cinderellas, the least amount of high ranked teams that have been unable to beat lower ranked teams.
Remember that FAU team that made a run?
Of course I do.
3 of their star players are on different teams: Florida, Arkansas, and Michigan. And all 3 of them are in the Sweet 16. That team should still be together.
Yeah. I mean, look at Florida. Florida's best player, the point guard, Clayton, he's an Iona player that Patino's son brought in when he was at Iona. He ended up on Florida, and then they grabbed the guy from FAU, and they put a squad together.
Crazy.
There's just so many guys moving around. And to your point earlier, before we started the show, you said that there's even some guys claiming that they're playing right now still in the tournament.
No, Scottie Pippen's son already declared, I saw multiple media sources say it, that he is transferring. And he's going into the transfer portal. And he's in the Sweet 16 right now.
But he hasn't said where he's going.
No.
Okay. That's crazy.
I don't think he could.
That's crazy. I mean, listen, play the game you have in front of you. You're going to the Sweet 16. Worry about all that other stuff later, or don't worry about it at all. You're in the Sweet 16. Look forward to next season.
I agree. To me, it's crazy, but you know what? It is what it is. It's the world we all asked for. I wanted players to get paid. I wanted the transfer portal to be a thing, and now here we go. Also, by the way, everyone's seeing me. Like, I've been firing like a psychopath. I've been building up FanCash like an addict. I'm going to tell you something right now. Guys, it's great.
FanCash is the shit.
When I make a dumb parlay and it's FanCash, I don't care. It's like I know it's not free money, but it feels like free money because whether you win or lose, you still get it.
Yeah, I mean, here, why go play somewhere else when you get to accumulate this FanCash, not only to turn and convert into a bonus bet, which, like you said, it feels like it's basically like a free bet then, right?
They teed you up for this one. I could tell he's putting an ad together right now, but he's not lying. I'm going to tell you right now.
Am I lying?
No, you're.
Or how about the fact that
you're not lying?
You could
I'm just
buy
saying,
something cool.
You sound like you're an infomercial right now.
Could you buy something cool or no?
You could buy signed memorabilia. You could buy sports cards. You can buy. I think they're going to eventually. You could buy tickets to games even.
Okay, and where are you going to do this? Where else are you going to do this?
I'm just saying the only place is
I'm not lying.
Yeah.
I'm just
saying. I don't need to say it. Everyone knows where I'm partnered with.
Okay.
Fanatics Sportsbook. If you don't like ads, shove it. I mean, that's kind of an ad.
Yeah, shove it.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm gonna make free bets, like if I'm gonna make psychopath, like I'm gonna give away 100,000 if I hit this $3 million. I'd like it to be off of FanCash because then I'm not putting up my own money for these crazy giveaways.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Like, at least I was firing on what I liked, built it up, and then fired. Like, I risked probably over $5 million or $6 million over the weekend, all to lose 200,000. Like,
how do you feel about that?
The North Carolina one hurt the most.
But you got to feel good when you got $6 million in handle and you come out down 200 G.
I'm not mad.
That's like a lot of emotion to be down only 200.
I won't lie to you. I watched over 43 or 44 hours of basketball over a 4-day span. By Sunday night, I was completely spent.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to watch the last game.
Yeah, last night was getting a little tough.
I physically didn't have it in me. Like, I love sports. This is me. I got to go play Call of Duty. I got to change it up. I got to do something else. I mean, it just is what it is. But all right, let's get into the South.
Let's get into the South.
Kick it off. I'll let you talk about it.
South, the first matchup, Auburn -7.5.
This is why Uncle Scotty's son declared. They're going against Auburn. He's like, hey,
he's seen that 7.5 point line.
While I'm in the limelight, I just want to let everyone know I'm transferring. No, I mean, they're big enough to stick in the game. That Golden kid, he's going to be in the league. He's big. He's getting bigger. These
days, it seems like guys that big, they do squeak in the league.
He's going to get in the league because he's still young. I think he's really young, to be honest with you. I think his future is really bright. I really do.
So, fun fact for those at home, Auburn searching for their third ever Elite Eight trip. Okay, that's not a lot for an Auburn program.
Nope.
And Michigan 4-3 in Sweet 16 games since 2013.
All I could say is if you asked me to pick these games, I wouldn't be able to take Auburn -7.5, but I would take them on a money line. And if you asked me to take Ole Miss or Michigan State, I would take Ole Miss +3.5. Those are my two picks for those games. I feel good about them. Michigan State's not that good. I don't know why
they're not.
I'm sorry. Like, I understand that they're at where they're at, but I just don't think they're that good.
They start off slow, too. And in this tournament, eventually you could start off slow, maybe in the first 2 rounds.
And you're going to get hurt.
But then by the third round, you're going to get hurt.
I hope Ole Miss cracks them. I hope Ole Miss goes and plays again. Kind of funny. It's the SEC versus the Big Ten. I mean,
yeah, it's top-tier ball. Cousins, listen, I gave you guys Auburn advancing over A&M in the bracket last week. And I gave you guys Ole Miss making it this far, knocking off Iowa
If
State.
you followed Anthony Chuck D'Amato on this bracket, you're on fucking fire. Period. The guy's on fire.
But I did give a couple dogs.
No.
Right
I'm
or
not
wrong?
dogging you right now at all. Your bracket is probably top 1%. Like if you followed the show last, when we did the show and you followed him, like you're like, hey, screw cousin Marco, I'm going sharp. You went off.
I do have Michigan State, however, winning this game against Ole Miss.
You do.
But I might take that 3.5 because that line is provolone, Cuzzy.
It feels like it.
It really, really does.
It feels like it.
Let's head over to the West. You cool with that?
Yeah, I love the West. The West is what I love.
Let's head over to the West.
All right, here we go. Florida -6.5 against Maryland. Believe it or not, I think Maryland has a chance to win this game. So I'm just going to start it off with 6.5. I'm going to take plus 6.5 with Maryland. I'm going to tell you something. If I'm not mistaken, there was some crazy stat, and I wrote it down. Let me find it here. Maryland has lost 9 of 11 of his last 5. Wait a second. That's not what. No way. Am I reading that right? Maryland's lost
9 of 11 of its last Sweet 16 matchups. This dates back to 1980.
That's how bad they are in the
9
Sweet
of
16?
11 times since the 80s
Am
that
I-
they've made the Sweet 16.
Is that what we wrote down?
They've taken an L.
Oh my God. Yeah. I still like 6.5. I'm really happy that I did that after I decided my pick. Because if I saw that, I might not have liked it.
6.5 is not a lot in college ball.
At some point, there's got to be an upset. So at some point, there's got to be. Like, it just can't be chalk all the way until to the championship, 1 versus 1. I don't want to see that.
So you ready for this stat?
What?
Florida has won 8 Sweet 16 matchups in a row. The last 8 times they've appeared in the Sweet 16, they've won.
See, I hate that. That's just like, ugh.
So how do you feel about your bet now?
I like it.
Okay, he still likes it.
I like it. I
He's
like plus 6.5.
He's getting 6.5.
All right, the other one, Texas Tech is -5.5 against Arkansas. A lot of you are probably wondering, hey, like, is Arkansas that good, or are they just lucky to beat a team that didn't shoot well? Well, Arkansas is getting back another star player to come off the bench. They're no longer, they're now multidimensional. Before they were 5 guys and just 5 guys going to play ball. Now they're a 7 to 8 man rotation, and they can play. So all I'm going to say is get ready. Like, it's not going to be a layup for Texas Tech, and I'm going to be taking Arkansas plus 5.5 and probably on the money line.
I'm going to be taking the Razorbacks plus 6 in this game. I'm going to get it to 6 because I just want that extra half.
I'm just going to buy a half point so I don't feel like an idiot if I don't.
Get it at 6 with your uncle.
Okay.
Arkansas, Razorbacks, Calipari, beating Texas Tech. Maybe outright. I'm probably going to sprinkle that ML, but I'm definitely taking the plus 6.
Yeah, the West.
By the way, Arkansas,
What?
4 out of the last 5 years they made the Sweet 16. This program it's safe to say they have elevated their game immensely.
Yeah.
I really like what they're doing.
What's crazy is I said next year, I think they're a shoo-in for the Final Four. Well, there's a chance for him to go to the Final Four this year, which
really
is
is.
nuts. All right, time for the East. Duke, I don't want... Okay, I like Duke. But they left their starters in up 20 with like 4 minutes to go. And
Cousin, I think even less than that.
3 minutes to go. Yeah. They didn't come out until about 2 minutes to go, up 23 or 24. That's gross. Like, put your fucking scrubs in. That is terrible.
Yeah, from an injury perspective, I really hate it. You got Flagg, who's already kind of like, whether he's 100% or not, he's coming off of a foot injury regardless.
I pray to God they get knocked out. I do. I pray to God.
This got him really upset.
I might go to church.
I'm telling you, he was texted. He was like, listen,
I live bet plus 20.5. And they left their starters in, and they kept hitting step-back threes.
Proctor just did a step-back 3 about 4 possessions in a row.
Yeah, and I just talk about wanting to kick a dog. That was me. Yeah.
The Devils 6-2 in their last 8 Sweet
No dogs
16.
were harmed. I don't even have a dog. I gave it away because I don't like animals. Yeah. All right. I thought we were safe here. I thought we were safe in the cousins
That's
bubble.
hysterical.
Yeah. Keep your animals away from me. I don't want them. Next one. BYU versus Bama. BYU's plus 4.5. Guys, I don't know. Bama just keeps telling me, hey, we're better than you think. I bet on them a lot this year, and I liked them, but God bless them. They just keep scoring. I think the conversation about this game is not the spread. It's the over-under. This is the highest college over-under I've ever seen. It's 174.5 in a college basketball game.
That's correct.
That is nuts.
So BYU, safe to say, they're going to be starving hungry in this game. It's their first Sweet 16 since 2011. I told you guys last week on the show, I got them in the bracket, beating Bama. So with that being said, I'm all over BYU. I'm taking BYU plus 6 in this game. I'm getting another point and a half. I'm taking BYU plus 6. And I'm going to tell you something. This Bama team, here's who they've played. You ready? They've played Robert Morris, who gave them a serious game. And then they played St. Mary, a team that I seen enter the ball below the basket into the paint probably 15 times and come up with 3 or 4 layups out of those 15 times.
I'll take BYU plus the points here. I like that. And then just out of spite, I'll take Arizona plus 9.5 and get bent over there.
Hey, and if you're frowning at home, the Roll Tide 2-9 all time in the Sweet 16. When they get to the Sweet 16, they got a little poopy in their pants.
BYU first Sweet 16 since Jimmer Fredette in 2011. Is that correct?
It sounds about right.
Yeah, I think that is correct.
Jimmer. Man, he had a burner on him.
Oh, nobody had the Sweet 16 burner like him. Nobody. Guy was white chocolate, that guy.
He was a baller.
White chocolate, yeah.
Let's take it to the Midwest where we live, Cuzzy. This is one of our favorite teams. Can't wait to talk about them. It's Houston versus Purdue. Purdue. There it is, baby. There it is. What's up?
For those who said it was a wash-off,
What's up?
It's been a week. Shove it. It's on there, and it's on there forever. I don't want to hear about it.
Look at that ass.
And it's oiled up for you, cuz. Just got a massage, came and shot the show right after. It
did look like it hit a little grease on it.
Yeah, a little oil. It's all about the oil.
That's extra virgin.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Purdue does have this weird ability to make me want to punch myself in the face. This team somehow stays relevant. I can't stand them. And I got to just start thinking to myself, am I betting against Purdue or am I hating Purdue? I'm not even going to give you a pick in this because I don't think it's like, I'm too emotional in it.
Their coach has the biggest head in the league.
Yeah, he
Every
does.
time I see him, I want to take a buzz.
Giant cabezon.
I just want to buzz his hair off because he wears that goofy hairdo that's like, I hate him. And for those who have been feeling the window dressing of Purdue's last year team and now this year's team, note this: Purdue losers in their last 5 of 7 Sweet 16 appearances, which means they won last year. So keep in mind, when they get to the Sweet 16, they're not that great despite making it to the finals last year. Houston making it 6 straight Sweet 16 appearance. They've lost their last 2, however.
Tennessee's facing Kentucky.
It's a beautiful SEC matchup.
Can I tell you something? The SEC came out to show.
Oh, my God.
I mean, did they not?
You know what that is, though?
What?
It's that NIL Zort.
It's that NIL money.
It's that NIL Zort.
They got the bag.
But with that NIL Zort, add on the fact that the educational prerequisite is a little bit lower down there in the Southeastern Conference
Than the Big Ten?
and they get a lot of ball players because guys
Cousin.
like teams like Purdue.
Can I tell you the truth?
You got it. They hold their guys to a high academic standard.
Time out. If you can ball, I can promise you any of these schools are going to make an exception and find a way.
I don't
They're
know.
going to get you a tutor or an IEP.
I
to
don't
make sure
know.
You're in.
Something's going on. I mean, even the football programs, SEC.
Yeah.
NIL came in, boom. Basketball, they flipped the switch overnight.
They did. Like all of a sudden, boom, we're relevant. Calipari's like, yep, Arkansas, yep. Not to mention, he lost weight, and he said he lost weight because he has no friends in Arkansas.
They did say that on the broadcast.
Hey, I'm going out to less dinners. I lost a little weight. I don't have a ton of friends.
That checkered sport coat, though, it hit pretty hard, I got to say.
I love that dude. I don't know why. I think it's because it's the type of guy that I grew up with, is like his personality. So, hard to hate them. But all right, no more Calipari talk. I got. They're not even in this.
You got no pick in that game?
I have no pick in the Purdue, but I will give you a pick in the Kentucky versus Tennessee.
Okay.
I really struggled to not take Kentucky plus 4.5 here. Like I said, there's got to be an upset somewhere, and God forbid if it's Purdue. Oh no. Oh.
I hope that Houston blows the doors off of Purdue, a 7.5-point line. But I will say this: that Kentucky team, I watched them play against the Illini yesterday.
They bullied them in a way I've never seen.
They were far more athletic.
They were swallowing them.
Far better.
Faster, stronger, bigger. I kept saying, why does Illinois look like they're getting sped up the entire game? Like, they couldn't keep up. The faster they went, the worse they played. Houston's making its sixth straight Sweet 16 appearance.
They are. They've lost their last 2, though, however.
Yeah, Houston's always relevant. It's really bizarre to me how that school always finds a way to be a good basketball program.
They are. And let's talk about a team that you would think, when I tell you this stat, it might kind of like surprise you a little bit, but Kentucky making their first Sweet 16 trip since 2019.
It's kind of crazy that Kentucky
nuts?
And Arkansas are in the same spot. Calipari left Kentucky. That coach came in, put together a team, and now that, you know what? I almost, just judging by it, wouldn't it be crazy if Kentucky faced Calipari in the championship?
It would be insane.
Wouldn't that be like nuts?
It would be insane. And speaking of hunger, keep also in mind this Tennessee team.
I'll take Kentucky on the money line too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kentucky on the ML.
Just on the narrative, I like it.
Well, you might like it even more because the Vols have only made the Sweet 16 twice.
Okay.
And they have never been to the Final Four.
Wow.
The Vols, Tennessee basketball, as we know it. It feels like a staple in my head.
Last year,
orange and white.
This time, they lost in the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
To Purdue.
Yep. They've never made the Final Four.
And that's what got Adu to transfer out of Tennessee.
Adu is an animal on the Razorbacks.
Yeah, Adu. He went to Tennessee.
He
left Tennessee and went to
player.
Arkansas. Yeah.
And what's that dude? What's that dude's name that I love on that team? Number 4 on Arkansas.
RJ. No. He went to FAU.
The big giant guy.
Brazil.
Brazil, ladies and gentlemen, the most athletic. I didn't say the best ball player. The most athletic player that I've seen in the college ball in quite some time. That dude rebounds with one hand.
I want to see him guard Cooper Flag. Oh, my. So bad.
I want to see Arkansas really make a run. I really, really do.
Well, they're 80-1 to win it all if you want to see them go to the title. Just saying. Might have to put some FanCash on that, baby.
Put some FanCash on that, baby.
All right, so with that being said, guys, these games have been chalk. If I've been seeing the parlays people send me, they're like, hey, check this out. And it's every favorite on a money line, and I can't hate you. It won. And I keep telling them, hey, God bless, keep winning. But like the one guy had like a 7-team parlay, all favorites to win, and only paid plus 400. Man, I mean, God bless. I mean, what? You won more than I did.
I just want to say thanks to the minus 260 Missouri Tigers for blowing me off for 15.5 G the other night in this very room. One of the only favorites that lost, they lost to 4 D2 players.
They actually came back.
Yeah, great. And I wish they would have lost by 40 rather than come back and make me stiff on the ride home and then beat.
They did blow your ticket.
Oh, my God.
They did blow your ticket.
I hate that team.
What's crazy is they did lose to a team that got slapped.
4 D2 starters on that Drake roster. Minus 260 the last leg of the par. After we sweated out the Razorbacks. I know. Still hurts.
I know.
It still hurts.
I could talk to you about a bunch of one-loss parlays, but I'm not gonna.
I'm
not gonna bore you.
We'll be talking about Geno Smith then.
All right. I love you. Stay healthy. Stay tight, and make sure you lock your doors at night. We'll talk to you later.